It is officially 2K drop day. Everyone who bought the game can be on the game now. We've got a new drop, the arrival drop, man. Shout out to everybody just getting on the game, man. We need to go over the new Snipe filters, so let's get right to them. The first filter we're gonna go over is the Ruby cheapest filter. For this, you want to put your color to Ruby. You're gonna raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest rubies on your console. Now, everybody has been, I watched the Snipes of the Week video we dropped yesterday. If you haven't seen that, check it out at the end of this video, man. Everybody was having insane snipes on rubies, man. Rubies seem to be the wave. They're popping up. I haven't spent much time working ruby filters, only gotten a few snipes in maybe an hour and a half or so on the filters, but we've got a lot of the best ruby filters for you guys when you're just unlocking the auction house and getting on the game. Hopefully you guys can get some crazy snipes on these filters, man. So for this first one, I also like the Ruby Series 1 filter cheapest, but it's so cheap right now. I think you should just scroll on Ruby cheapest. They're all the way down to like 5,000 for the Series 1s. So keep that in mind as you're scrolling on just Ruby cheapest. You're gonna pick up any Series 1 player that pops up. So if you're scrolling at 3,500, 3,200, whatever it is, they're typically rubies are selling for 3,500. So if you snipe one, keep that in mind. That's probably what you can sell it for. Obviously, always check price on every snipe. We got a lot of filters, so I gotta go over these a bit quicker. So grab any ruby that pops up, any of these cheap gems of the game rubies, grab them for 2,000 MT and below, or about 12 to 1,500 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. If any of the Series 1 cards pop up, pick them up, man. Obviously, there's a lot of good, expensive Series 1 cards as well, so really pick those up quick if like Ja Morant, any of the centers, good centers pop up, man. But any Series 1 card is profit at 3,500, just barely. You preferably to get them under 3K. So that's the first filter. Really good option, man. Spend some time on here when you're first getting on the auction house. Maybe you have 9,000. Hopefully you can get a few snipes on here while you wait for them to pend. Let's go. We got a snipe right there, man. The next filter we're going to go over is the Point Guard Ruby Series 1 filter. For this, you're going to put your position of point guard, you're going to put your color to Ruby, set your theme to Series 1, and you're going to scroll your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest Sabrina on your console. On PlayStation, selling for about 11,000 MT right now. That one first refresh as we were checking the price just popped up for 7,500. I will take it every day of the week, man. Obviously, you have some more expensive rubies on here. You do want to scroll. You've got all the like Kyrie's, Trey Young. Trey for 14 seems a little cheap, but you want to pick anybody else that's not named Sabrina up if they pop up on this filter. Included in this same filter, same thing, is position center Ruby Series 1. You have some expensive rubies on here. They're about 16,000 MT cheapest. So the same exact filter, you're gonna set it up just like this. And Embiid for 16. Oof, I think he's like 20, but I don't want it. Center Ruby Series 1, you're gonna scroll on the cheapest ruby. There's not really many more expensive cards on here. They're all about the same price, around 15 to 20,000 MT, besides Wemby. Obviously Wemby is more expensive, so if Wemby pops up, pick them up for the price you're working, and then grab the other ones for about 5,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. I would say around 10, 11,000 for the other centers. You're gonna go ahead and refresh on here, snipe any of them for cheap, and if Wemby pops up, buy him as quick as possible. The next filter that we're gonna go over is the Ruby Series 1 Central Division. There's also 3 filters in this one filter. It's Central, Southeast, and Southwest. Kind of like Southwest the most because Wemby's on there and he's probably the most expensive ruby. Kevin Durant for 18, man. These cards all sell for about 20,000 MT. To work these filters, you're going to put your color to ruby, you're going to set your theme to Series 1, and you're going to put your division to whichever division you want to work, Southwest, Southeast, or Central Division. You're going to go ahead and scroll on the cheapest one card because Wemby is on here. He can pop up, so you're going to go ahead and put your buyout as high as possible and just being on one card, so Jaren Jackson Jr. Refresh on here. If Wemby pops up, buy it, obviously. And then the other cards, again, you want to grab them for about 4,000 to 5,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one that you can sell them for. So if they're going for 18, you want to grab them for about 14, 13k and below, and resell for profit. As you see, this one's been up for 2 hours and hasn't sold, so you want to give yourself plenty of room for profit so you can put yours up for like 16 and make sure that it sells pretty quick so you guys can get back on the filters, man. Really good option. We've got Southeast, which is around 15,000, I believe, 14,000, with that Trae Young that we saw that just was up on the point guard filter. This one is just Trae Young and Paolo on it. So you're looking to pick up Paolo if he pops up. He's selling for about 20,000 MT right now, and then grab Trae for like 10k and below. Really good option. And then again, Central has tons of options like Giannis, a bunch of different cards that can pop up on here. Pascal Siakam, let's freaking go. Clutch me up, bro. I needed that so bad. That's huge, man. Tyrese Halliburton, again, grab these cards if they pop up for 10,000 MT and below. And then if any of the more expensive cards like Giannis, Cade's on here, Mobley, just check the price. There's only a few cards on each of these filters, so just get familiar with how much each one sells for. It's too much for me to go over in the video, but if you just snipe everything that pops up for 10k and below, you're in good shape. Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, man, Giannis looks like the only one you're gonna grab while you're scrolling, and the other ones pick up for 10k and below. The next filter we're going to go over is the Amethyst cheapest filter. For this, you want to put your color to Amethyst. You're going to raise your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest Kiki on your console, which is all the way down to about 6,500 right now. She was just going for 7 a little bit ago, so clearly on the way down, man. These WNBA players have been crashing the price really quickly, so that's good for us snipers, because again, anytime you can work a filter where the cheapest card of that color tier is cheaper than other cards on the filter, trying to snipe the other cards is always a very good option, man. So you want to scroll on the cheapest Kiki. You're looking to grab literally anybody else. Even Kate Martin is selling for about 85 to 9,000 MT on PlayStation right now. So even if she pops up for 6,500, 6,450, it's profit, man. So literally grab anybody else. You can also enable Kiki and Kate Martin, which I'm waiting to get a good price of her to pop up so I can enable her. I definitely think it's a really good option. And then you can scroll on all the wild gems, Amethyst cheapest, and then you have Julius Randle, all the game on cards, man. You'll see that we're going to go over that filter next, but enabling, buying Kiki Ifrin and Kate Martin for around 9,000 and sending them to your collection. Then you can go ahead and turn on exclude collected cards and just refresh on the cheapest wild gems player, which will give you a little bit more room to snipe. So a really good option for the Amethyst filter as well. The next filter we're going to go over is the game on cheapest filter. For this, you want to put your theme to game on. You're going to raise your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest Kate Martin. Again, do not sleep on this filter. I went absolutely crazy about an hour ago in literally 2 minutes on this filter. Well, not this, I was on the game on enabled, but every single snipe I got would have popped up on this as well. We're going to go over game on enabled as well, because I do have Kate Martin. So you want to scroll on the cheapest Amethyst. If any other card pops up on here, buy it, it's profit. The next cheapest game on player is Julius Randle, around 13,000 MT, so that's a big dub if you get him for 9,000 and below. You want to grab Kate for 5,000 MT and below, or about 3.5 to 4,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. So scroll on here. If Kate Martin pops up for under 5, buy it. If anybody else pops up while you're working the scroll, you're going to want to buy it and resell it for profit, man. Lots of options on here. You got a few diamonds, you got a few pink diamonds, you've got a few amethysts, and they're all pretty darn expensive. So really good option. Again, if you want to enable, you can buy the cheapest Kate Martin on your console. Once they pen, you can send her to your collection, and then you're going to go ahead and turn on exclude collected cards, and then scroll your maximum buyout up to the next cheapest amethyst, which is Julius Randle, selling for about 12,000 MT right now. So you're going to want to scroll. However, there's 2 up for 12,000, so I'd probably just put my buyout down 50 MT and refresh like this. On this filter, if anybody not named Julius Randle pops up, it's still profit. Vlade Divac is about 20,000. Mikal Bridges is about 20,000. and then you have the diamonds and pink diamonds. So really good filter. These packs are still in the game. Spend some time on it. The next filter we're gonna go over is the diamond cheapest filter. For this, you're gonna put your color to diamond. You're gonna raise your maximum bout up till you find the cheapest color copper on your console. And you're gonna go ahead and lower your buyout 50 MT. Since there's 3 up like this, you do want to scroll because there is a ton more diamonds that are more expensive than 15,000. So right now, if anybody pops up for 15,000 MT or on the scroll you're working that's not named Khalil, you're gonna go ahead and pick them up because the next cheapest is about 22,000, something like that. So you're gonna go ahead and buy any other card, and then if Kalia pops up for 5,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, so I would say 10,000 MT and below, if you're on PlayStation, pick her up, resell her for profit, man. On this filter, you're gonna want to enable her. If there's, I went over a lot of enabled filters. If there's just one player you can afford to enable or one filter you want to enable, I would say this is the one. Diamond cheapest, I just enabled her a few minutes ago. She finally finished pending. So you're gonna go ahead and buy her, send her to your collection, and then you're gonna raise your maximum buyout up till you find the next cheapest diamond. And again, if there's a color gem tier of cards where there's one super cheap card and then the rest are all more expensive, it's a really good time to work that filter because people will look up how much are diamonds, and then they'll throw their diamond up for whatever the cheapest price is, and every other card is profit if the card gets thrown up for 15,000 MT. So you scroll on this filter with the Kalia enabled, and if anything pops up for under 20,000 MT, buy it and resell it for profit. I would say maybe even 22,000 if any card pops up for about 6,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. Still a snipe, pick it up, resell it for profit, and there are tons of diamonds that sell for over 100,000 that can pop up on here as well. The next filter we're gonna go over is the cheapest all filter. For this, no color, no theme, no nothing. You're gonna raise your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest cards on your console, which on PlayStation they're selling for about 1,500 MT that you can get any card in the game to sell for. You're gonna want to go ahead and lower your maximum buyout down to 1,000 MT. Some good cards on here. We've got to check pricing on. I don't know all these cards, but you're gonna lower your buyout to 1,000 MT and just refresh and snipe anything at all that pops up, man. Any card that you pick up for 1,000, you can sell it for 1,500 at a minimum, and you're making a couple hundred MT each snipe. But what you're really counting on is to get the rubies and the amethysts and stuff to pop up on this filter, or the expensive wild gems cards or whatever it may be, man. Just make sure whatever you snipe, always check the price. Don't just throw it up for 1,500 and then sell it for however much it's worth, man. Really good option when you're first starting off. So hopefully you snipe something on here. Keep in mind, guys, filters are still early in the game, are much drier than they would be at the end of 25, so have some patience, but really good option when you're first getting going. The next filter we're going to go over is the Arrival Central Division filter. For this, you want to put your theme to Arrival, you're going to put your division to Central, and you're going to scroll your maximum buyout up till you find the cheapest OB topping on your console. This is basically a hard scope filter, guys. You're basically just looking to snipe OB topping. That is the goal of this filter. He's an Amethyst. He sells for 28,000 MT. All the other Amethysts in the game sell for around 10,000, 8,000. The other card in this set, the WNBA player, sells for 6,500. So if you get an OB topping to pop up for 6,500, you're making 20,000 MT profit in one snipe. And again, people will check the price of how much is Amethyst from this set going. They're going to see, oh, 6,500, and think that's what OB topping sells for. Trust me, it happens. That's why sniping works pretty much most of the time. So you're going to go ahead and put your theme to Arrival, put your division to Central, and then scroll on the cheapest OB topping. The reason you're scrolling, if this is a hard scope filter, is because Giannis Antetokounmpo Pink Diamond can pop up on here as well. Not going to happen, very unlikely, but it's certainly possible, and it's a lot better to have that chance than to be working the OB topping, putting in his name and Amethyst, and then trying to snipe him. So just work this filter, arrival, central. Really nice profit to be made on this filter. I spent most of the day on this filter. And then obviously if you get lucky as heck and a pink diamond Giannis pops up, you just made a million MT just like that. All right guys, we're gonna go over some quick high-end filters for you guys very quickly. This video is getting insanely long. I apologize. There's a lot of filters at the start of the year, man. For this, you're gonna put your position to center, you're gonna put your color to diamond, and you're gonna raise your minimum buyout up until you have a working scroll, which on PlayStation, that's about 95,050. You could raise it up to 97, whatever it is, to get the 97,550 to get that Bryant Reeves off, but maybe I would probably do this instead. I was gonna, for the extra 2,000 MT, chance to see more snipes, probably a 2 scroll is better, man. I don't exactly know who all you're picking up on here. Tyson Chandler's a pickup. You've got, I don't know, you guys are gonna have to look. There's quite a few centers that are snipes. I don't have time to go through all of them. That's why this video is getting so long. So make sure you check to see what these cards are ending for before you try and snipe them, or ask a friend. Jack Sigma is profit, man. So that's one option. I also like, which a lot of you people will not, is just the diamond 100k minimum bid scroll. So put your color to diamond, put your minimum bid to 100,000, and then put your minimum buyout to 500, and then just scroll through the end. Thank goodness 2K fixed the scrolling. Wiggins is gonna kill this filter. All of us, no, that's tough. Loki, I still will probably spend some time on here just because the scrolling is actually pretty darn fast. You're looking for any of the wild gems, lock-in cards, there's quite a few options that are snipes, man. So I can't go over them all. I don't even know them all because I'm still trying to spend the time checking all the pricing, because they just added about 500 cards to the game, but there's quite a few of them that are profit. So look into that, and then maybe you work this filter. Hopefully it gets us back to like a 10-11 scroll later on, because that's certainly better than this insane scroll. But it is a big scroll, so maybe, you know, don't work it. It's just something I wanted to throw in there. Another option is the shooting guard 100,000 MT 100k bid. So put your position to shooting guard, raise your minimum bid up to 100,000 MT, put your minimum buyout at 500, and then scroll through the filter. Not the end of the world on scrolls. You've got Raja Bell on here who's sells for like 700,000. So shooting guard, you can do really center as well. Any position that has expensive cards on it, you want pink diamonds and diamonds. As always, the 500 100k filter, I haven't mentioned it yet this year. You need to be on it, man. It's still a W option. Any card that sells for over 120,000, pick them up if they pop up on here, man. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Diamond Arrival Western Conference filter. Really high on this filter, guys. For this, you want to put your color to diamond, you're gonna put your theme to Arrival, and you're gonna put your conference to Western. I just didn't mean to change that to Eastern. To Western, man. This takes out the one cheap diamond. So if you can't afford to enable the diamond, you can work this filter, which is almost the same thing, except for you can't see all the other diamonds, which is super unfortunate. But on here, you can snipe Chris Paul, Marcus Camby, and Andrew Wiggins, which Marcus Camby and Andrew Wiggins are all more expensive. So if they pop up on the scroll you're working, buy them as quick as possible. And then Chris Paul, you're gonna want to grab him for about 7,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one. So I'd say if he pops up for 38,000 and below, I would be picking him up. If you want to make even more profit, grab him for 35,000 and below, or about 10,000 MT cheaper than the cheapest one. Really good option on here. Hopefully you get like a Wiggins to pop up who's selling for like 95,000 right now, and you're in really good shape. Again, cheapest diamonds are about 15,000 MT right now, so if one of these pop up for that price, you're making bank. And the last filter we're going over, of course, is the pink diamond filter. For this, you're just going to put your color to pink diamond, you're going to put your minimum buyout to 500 and refresh. There are pink diamonds to be cautious of, which are Candace Parker. She seems to always end at 100,000. I don't know about Paige Buckers yet. We'll have to watch her price, but pretty much any other pink diamond besides that I've seen has sold for profit. There's tons of pink diamonds that have not even existed yet in the game, or at least I've never seen them. So I guess there could be a pink diamond here or there that doesn't sell for profit, but I can't see that happening. It's just Paige Buckers and Candace Parker that you need to be cautious of. Sometimes Candace Parker does sell for profit, sometimes she definitely does not. So just if you're low on MT, you only have 100,000 and you're sniping on here, which obviously if you work this filter you should definitely have 100,000 MT, because most of the times a snipe will pop up on here, it'll be for 100,000. So make sure you have 100k, but I would pass on Candace Parker and possibly Paige after monitoring her price and seeing if she's ending for around 110,000 MT. That's it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I apologize that it was so long, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash the like button for me if you did. If you guys want to see the best snipes you got this week, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.